This is the best time for you to start thinking about what you want to be. Have any of you thought about what you want to be? How about you?
Artist.
An artist? How about you, young lady?
I want to be a general in the Army.
You want to be a general in the Army? You know, we have a lot of women generals in the Army. Did you know that? Yes. Well, so you already have great examples out there. Now, let me ask you, do you guys have any questions of me?
Yes.
Okay, what question do you have?
What got you inspired to be a general
In the Marine Corps.
Yeah, in the Marine Corps.
Well, she asked the question, what got me inspired to be in the Marine Corps? Well, you know, when I was growing up, I grew up in a town on the East Coast called Philadelphia. It was the first capital of the United States. And, I lived in a tough neighborhood. So in that tough neighborhood, I had to fight 2 gangs to and from school every day. And I grew up about 400 yards from where the Marine Corps was founded. It was founded in Philadelphia. And so people used to call me a Marine even before I knew what a Marine was. And so I guess I was destined to be a Marine. But, once I became a Marine, it was a great opportunity to see the world, learn about a lot of different cultures, learn about a lot of different people, deal with our government in Washington, D.C., and have a lot of great young men and women that work with me. So that's really what inspired me to be a Marine. But you may want to do something else like we've already heard. Now, some people go to the military and they see that as a good start to the rest of their career. Every leader, for the people that follow you, they have to know that you're committed. And every leader, and all of you are leaders, you have to have a vision and you have to tell them how we're going to be successful, whether it's in business or whether it's in the military. So when you think about that, what does vision mean? It means how far out can I see? How far can I see to be successful? If you have a vision to be successful, if you have a vision to change what war is like, you have to vision what their life is going to be like. And so when you think about these things, what allows you to do that? You got to know your history. You got to know your math. You got to know your English. Sometimes you got to know your music. And sometimes you have to know your religion. One thing, this is an Islamic world. And the Islamic world thinks a little bit differently than the Christian world. But the most common thing between the two religions is the Old Testament and the Bible. So if some of you go to church and you read the Old Testament, you can always have a conversation with somebody in the Islamic world. If you get a chance to leave the country and go talk to people around the world, you have to know their culture. You have to know what their history was. And ultimately, you might help them change their history. The military can do a lot of things. In my opinion, among our government organizations, the military has the most capability to do things. Certainly we can go chase down bad guys. We can save lives. We can create hospitals. We can create cities. We can rebuild nations. There's no institution in the United States, one single institution that can do that. The military can do all of that. Yes, ma'am.
Based on the fact that you've been to a lot of countries, how many different languages do you know?
Well, I know not as well as I used to know, but I knew Japanese, Chinese, a little bit of Spanish, and over here in Iraq I started learning what they call Arabic, and then Dari and Pashto in Afghanistan. And by the way, I'm glad you asked that question because, when you talk about languages, if you want to be successful, I think, in this world, what you have to know is at least 100 different cultures, and you need to know at least 5 languages because the world is global. If you go around Dallas, there's over 120 different languages spoken in Dallas County. So learn your languages. Yes. Now the question was, if you get wounded in war, do you get up and do it again? It depends on how bad you got wounded. If you're really severely wounded, then we tell you to go home. What made me get into the military? it was, for me, it was a great place to learn about the world because I knew I'd get to travel and I'd get to go a lot of different places, get to jump out of perfectly good planes, you know, jump off of perfectly good mountains, you know, that type of thing. One thing, how many of you have dreams? Dreams sometimes are the goals that you have about life, right? What do you want? Maybe you want to be the engineer or the architect or the drummer or what have you. Don't ever lose those dreams. See, don't let any of your friends, sometimes maybe even your family members, don't ever let them steal your dreams. You know, dream stealers keep you down. Don't let dream stealers stop you from reaching your goals. Always have a goal. Always have a dream. You know, at every different level in your life, your dreams are going to change. Your goals are going to change. But you always have to have them. And the other thing, when you have goals, you know, when I was your age, I had 3 papers. And I said, there's 3 ways I could go. And I'd write them down. I'd say, this is how I needed to get there. And if one goal didn't work, I'd go to the next one. If that one didn't work, I'd go to the next one. You always have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you'll just go anywhere in life. So have a dream, have a goal, never quit, never, never, never give up. Okay? All right.